Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Boy, was yesterday a big day for G.I. Joe Classified news, and it looks like I'm going to be eating my shoe. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Okay, so I was literally in the middle of uploading my video to YouTube about Chuckles. And while it was uploading, I'm like, well, I may as well check Facebook and see what's going on there. And I was scrolling through some of my toy community pages, and somebody had posted a picture, the drawing of Crazylegs, and they're like, well, it's official, it's Crazylegs. And since it was a drawing, I immediately was like, oh, this is a joke, let me read the comments. And like, everybody's like, I can't believe it's Crazylegs, this is crazy, blah blah blah. And I was like, wait a minute, is this legit? And then somebody was like, somebody literally asked that question in the comments, is this legit or fan made? And they're like, here's the link, and I clicked on it, took you to the Haslab page, and I scrolled down. Now I was kind of blown away. I had not heard that it had been officially announced. Apparently it was, kind of quietly uploaded in the middle of the day, and it was uploaded between the time that I had visited the Haslab page and grabbed my screenshot for my Chuckles video, because I opened up that video talking about the Haslab and when they were gonna, I was literally saying they're either gonna release the 19,000 unlock, the third tier unlock, either early this week to ramp up that last bit of explosion of backers, or they're going to extend it and release it right there at the very end. Well, they did the former. They went ahead and decided to release the third tier yesterday before Glinda had even been unlocked at 16. And yeah, it seems like a lot of people are really happy with it because it's a character that actually does go along with a helicopter. So that's great. How do I feel about it? I have mixed feelings about it. So let's talk about it. The way that we're going to talk about it is that Emily from the G.I. Joe team, Emily and Lenny are the ones who always do all the G.I. Joe reveals on Hasbro Pulse. Emily took to Instagram last night and posted this post, and we're going to break it down piece by piece. And then I'm going to give you my final thoughts on Crazylegs after we talk about Emily's post. So let's dive right in. All right. So Emily, who goes by the name more phenomenally Emily, because she's also on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers team, she went ahead and said, in case you missed it, the third and final tier of the Dragonfly XH1 Haslab was revealed earlier today on Hasbro Pulse in honor of Crazylegs' announcement. Wanted to reiterate some things that I've seen commented about. Reminder that Airborne was announced as a mainline figure, which is why he's not in the Haslab unlocked tiers. So a lot of people were talking about how it could be Airborne because the X's, the number of X's lined up in his name, his full name, his code name, and his team role. So she was answering that it couldn't have been Airborne because he's already been announced as a mainline tier, as a mainline release. So that was really good for her to clarify, which is why Airborne is not the third figure. Then she went on to answer this question. Funds for the Haslab are collected when the campaign closes at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on July 17th, not as soon as you back. This is one of the reasons why campaigns are around about a month and a half long. We want to give people time to save up for their dream items. And apparently there was a lot of confusion in the groups, the chats, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, wherever, about when your funds are collected. And they are collected at midnight on the day of, the final day of the campaign. So I'm glad she cleared that up. Then this is a really big one. This is one that I think a lot of people are waiting on, and they fail to remember. We need 16,000 backers to unlock Glinda and 19,000 backers to unlock Crazylegs. For anyone who is concerned about still needing 4,000 backers, remember how many units we sold of the Sky Striker and the His Tank in the last 24 hours. Spoiler alert, it was a lot. So I think she's using this as a way to sort of assuage people's fears that we're not going to hit 16 or we're not going to hit 19. I think they know the numbers by now, looking at the His Tank and the Sky Striker, that they will more than hit those last 4,000 backers. They've got historical evidence, numbers to prove it, and that's what I've been saying all along. We're going to hit 16, and then we're going to blow through that 19, and it's going to be fantastic. I tell you guys what, if we don't hit 19,000 backers on this by the end of the day, on the 17th, I'll eat my other shoe. And then finally, she says, we do love to leave hints for people to decipher. Ha ha ha. She's clearly talking about me. But sometimes they don't always lead where you're expecting or anywhere at all. And she's absolutely correct, which is why I had to eat my flip-flop at the beginning of this video, is because I went back and looked at the original unlock picture, and in that, the letters do not add up to David Crazyleg Thomas. That's too long and doesn't fit the name. Now, Assault Trooper does fit, so that's really cool. I'm glad that that fits. But yeah, just looking at the letters for the name, it just doesn't fit, and so I was completely wrong there. I had been using those letters to try to figure it out and decipher it, and that's how we came up with General Hulk. It's also how we came up with Airborne as well. Other people who came up with Airborne as well, but it seems like they tricked us, and that wasn't the case this time. Even though Glinda did fit, I guess they were trying to throw us a red herring with that last unlock. And then this is the last big one that she drops us right here at the end. Oh, are you still reading? How dedicated. Second spoiler alert, Doc is joining Airborne and General Hulk in the main line. So she's acknowledging that General Hulk was a major ask right there at the very end, that people were kind of wanting General Hulk or not wanting General Hulk. But she's now kind of letting us know that we will be getting Doc, Airborne, and General Hulk in the main line. And that's incredible, because I know a lot of people were also thinking that Doc would make a great figure to add to this as well. So now, what are my thoughts on Crazyleg? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that this is a figure that has the Haslab campaign going out with a bang. I thought that with the His Tank, they went out with a bang with the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. That was a big one to sort of drive those last day sales. And to me, I was expecting a much bigger figure, which is why I went with General Hulk. But am I upset about Crazylegs? No, not at all. I love this release. I think he looks great. It's cool that they're doing Night Force to match up with Ripcord, which could possibly mean that we may get a Night Force Outback down the road, because I think if I remember correctly, when Crazylegs came out in his Night Force deco, it was in a 2-pack with Outback, if I remember correctly. So that also means that a regular, red and gray Crazylegs is going to be coming in the main line sometime down the road, which is great. That's absolutely fantastic. And I also saw somebody point this out, which I thought was a really neat touch, was that somebody said, why does he come with a red baseball cap? And it's because backpack, like parachute riggers, the ones who like actually put the parachutes in the backpacks and everything, they wear red hats. And I thought that was a really cool touch. Somebody in the military pointed this out in one of my Facebook groups. And so I thought, man, that's G.I. Joe really doing their homework there. That's really cool. And also, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this guy is also going to come with an actual cloth or plastic parachute that's going to open up. I think this is going to be one of those figures that we're all going to go out in our backyards, throw it up in the air, and let him parachute down. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to include a parachute with this figure. Now, let me play tin hat conspiracy theorist for a minute and just share one of my thoughts. I honestly think that I know for a fact that when these major corporations go into these big campaigns, they have everything planned out. Every single thing is planned out in advance. They know exactly what they're doing, when they're doing it, when they're releasing it, and what they're showing. And so I find it very suspicious that Crazylegs here is only in an illustration form. The fact that they don't have him already CG, like digital rendered, already digitally colored like Glinda, and showing his exact form, his exact figure, and his exact accessories and everything he comes with, makes me wonder if this isn't a pivot. This makes me wonder if somebody major like General Hulk was planned for this release, and they saw a lot of backlash online and in the community of people saying, I don't want a major character like Major Hulk or General Hulk being like firewalled behind a Haslab. And I agree. But I also thought that it would have been a different version of General Hulk than we would get in the mainline. That they're not going to put a mainline released figure behind a Haslab and have everybody not be able to get it. So part of me wants to think that this might be a pivot. This may be a last, in the last week or so shift for the team, and that's why we only have an illustration. But that's just me playing tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think Hasbro is doing here with only showing us an illustration of Crazylegs. Now, does that mean they probably won't have a digital render ready to go on the 17th to show us as they do like some quick 5-minute video to celebrate the ending of the Haslab ending on YouTube? They may have one done by then, but I do find it suspicious that we don't have it here. And I am willing to bet that probably by San Diego Comic-Con, which is just in like next week, they're going to be showing this off at San Diego Comic-Con, and they'll probably have some early prototype versions of these figures there to show off as well. So in the coming weeks, we're going to get more information, and we're going to get more detailed photos and all that kind of stuff, especially around San Diego Comic-Con. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed me eating my shoe, because it certainly didn't taste good. And remember to check us out over at Instagram.com and Threads at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am the Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.